What's up, guys? So today I decided I wanted to make a video on an exercise called the body weight leg extension. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, if you've come to Energy Fitness and you've trained with me, if you've taken any of my classes, you definitely have done this. When I first purchased the gym, I never wanted to teach classes because it was something I never did before and it was more out of my comfort zone. But one night an instructor couldn't show up. It happened to be a leg day class and I knew that I only had so much equipment for the amount of people I had in the class at the time that this would be something that I probably would want to throw in. And after doing that one time in a class, I realized how effective it actually was because so many people hate this exercise. And it's not because it is a bad exercise, it's because it smokes you. You can do this at the end of a workout. You can do this as a part of a circuit. You can do this in a burnout. If you're teaching a class at a gym, this is a great exercise because it involves no equipment. You just put people on all fours in a quadruped position. We put our feet up against the wall, or you can put them up against dumbbells. Honestly, you don't even need to put your feet flat against anything, but I do recommend doing that because it's easier to drive your foot into something. It makes it a little more easier to be stable in the exercise. But I wanted to go over this because a lot of people see this on my story on Instagram, or they'll see my clients doing this when I take videos, and they're just wondering, what is this weird push-up exercise you're doing? I've never seen that before, and I just wanted to go over it. So when I first started teaching classes here, like I said, I only had a certain amount of pieces of equipment that I could actually use in class. So I was trying to think, what is the most strenuous body weight exercise I can do? You know, we did lunges, we did reverse lunges, we did squat jumps, we did all these different things that you see commonly in classes that are body weight exercises, but I wanted to take it a step further and I wanted to bring in an exercise that I learned a few years ago. I found this exercise by accident. It was in a recommended for you video. It was a guy who was explaining how to do this exercise if you didn't have access to any equipment like you would at a gym. Typically a leg extension machine is a great way to build your quads, but sometimes people report that their knees may bother them because of the way the lever is. The pressure rests on the bottom of your leg. So when you're pushing out, sometimes it's not the best positioning for your knee, for your patella. So this actually does free that up a little bit. The problem I have found with this exercise is you can't really overload it. You can try doing things like a weighted vest, but when you end up dipping into the position, like I'm gonna get to in a second, your vest ends up falling, so it doesn't really load where the legs are. It kind of ends up being a little uncomfortable on the upper body. I've tried holding a plate with my clients in the back of their knees, which was kind of a pain in the ass, honestly. That didn't work really well. So I would say that you can't really overload this exercise, but you can make this a burnout. You can do this for time. You can even do a single leg version of this, which I think I'm going to start using in class. If they didn't hate me already, they're definitely going to now because the single leg version is a lot harder. And usually by the time we're done doing a circuit, they look something like this, you know? They're very angry at me. As soon as I say that we're doing this as a burnout, or if they see it written on the board, I usually get a ton of groans because this is very effective. Like I said, you put this at the end of a circuit. It is very difficult. It's very easy to do, but once you start doing, 10, 15, 20 reps, forget it. I mean, this is a great burnout exercise, so let's get to it. So when doing this exercise, like I said, you want to be quadruped, which means we are on all fours. We want palms on the ground, knees on the ground, feet are flat to this wall. Now, like I said, you don't need to go against a wall. You could put your feet against, if you're at home, the couch, maybe a footrest, or you don't even need anything really. You could keep your feet flat here and do it, but I like to have my heels driven into the wall. I do notice that it makes it a lot easier to kind of drive, and it just feels more stable and comfortable. So I would recommend putting your feet flat to the wall here. The closer your butt is to the wall, the harder this is because the range of motion increases. I have a lot of clients that start doing it like this. If they're new at doing it, I'll let it go. I let them just figure out the exercise, but as they go through a round or two, I'll ask them to kind of get their butt a little closer to the wall. So I try to stay in a nice neutral position. I keep my ribs down, my core is nice and tight. I bring my butt all the way up to the ceiling, extending the legs all the way out, and right as I'm about to touch the ground with my knees, I go right back up. So we never touch the ground. I just try to keep pumping out as many reps as I can in class. If it's for a timer or for a rep count, I'll tell them don't touch your knees to the ground until that timer's up or until you complete your reps. So just to demonstrate 10 reps here, knees never touch the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So a very basic exercise. There's really not much to it. But I'm telling you, if you throw this in, if you have to work out at home and you want to train legs and you don't have a lot of equipment, perfect exercise to do that. You'll feel your quads start to tighten up. This is very difficult. Stop breathing a little heavy. I think this is a great exercise. I love it. Like I said, you're not going to overload it, but if you have a lot of people in a class or you don't have equipment and there's something you want to do at home, I think that this is a great option. So that's the bodyweight leg extension. If you try these at home, or if you try these in a class, or you own a gym and you're throwing these in with your clients, please tag me in them. I didn't make this exercise up, but it does seem that a lot of people are starting to associate this thing with me. Cool, I guess. I mean, it's whatever. It's not a groundbreaking exercise, but it is easy to do. If I got 20 people showing up to class, I can throw people against the wall. 10, 15 people can do this. It doesn't take up any equipment and very limited space. What am I taking up? Maybe 2 feet here, 3 feet at the most. So yeah, try the bodyweight leg extensions. Do them for time, do them for reps, do them at the end of a circuit. Let's grow.